Hello everybody, Crow here, on Vilebranch, only found on titansleague.org, and I'm here with you today to discuss the Zeb'Nazja dungeon. As you can see here, I am standing at the cave at the top of Jinta Alor, over in the hinterlands. Over here is the instance portal, and once you go into it, you'll be met with a loading screen, and of course, be put inside of Jinta Alor. You will start out inside of the cave and find your way out of it into a clearing. Over here in this clearing, it's called the Hunter's Walk. And the trash mobs here will be like troll hunters with their beasts, kind of walking back and forth, and trophy guards and headhunters and those types of things. So you'll wind up wrapping about here around and find your way over to the main tent here where the troll that's the master of the hunting party will be one of the bosses here. Next, you'll continue down after the Hunter's Walk here to basically the main entrance. And from here, you have a bunch of different ways of going about it. You can turn left or right. If you decide to turn left, you go down this corridor, and you have the option to go straight or left. Over left here is the ancient altar. This ancient altar is an altar to one of the troll Loas in the hinterlands, though. I think his name is Hyreek. He is a serpent Loa. And so in here will be one of his acolytes that you'll fight, kind of like an avatar of Hyreek. And if you decide to go straight instead, you will come over here up these stairs and be met at a clearing at Kunduraka Ridge. Over here, on this ridge, is a fight with a thunder channeling troll. It'll periodically knock people back. And if you are to be knocked off of here, you will take about 20 to 30% of your max health and fall damage, and have to climb all the way back up through that back way here, or around the back on the left-hand side, and then cross this bridge and kind of wrap your way back up again to rejoin the fight here. Now next, in between those 2 points, the Mystic Altar or Ancient Altar and Kunduraka Ridge, is a ancient clearing called the Gloomshade Hollow. And the Gloomshade Hollow is filled with spider webs and some of Shadra's minions, miniature spiderlings and such that have killed a lot of the native trolls that were living here in these huts. I had a lot of details into the huts to make them look well lived in, but also quite a bit of spider eggs and the such to make it look like it's been attacked. And I think one of the bosses will be around here. Will probably be like an avatar of Shadra, or something to that effect. Of course, you guys have seen this area, some of these areas already, if you've been watching my videos. But if you come over here, you'll find out if you had gone the left way at the beginning, or the right way rather, or you come through here, which is some more trolls, you'll be met at this crossroads here, the Throne of Mogul Combat. It's a fun little reference. Here is where the final boss will be stationed, and you can only have access to him after killing all the other bosses in the dungeon. And when you trigger this fight, what I want it to be ideally is a kind of like Ring of Blood experience, where you have like 3 waves of sub-bosses. And then at the very end, if you beat them, then you get to fight the real boss. And the armor is like dropped into a chest or something that spawns in the middle there. Over here, though, coming out to where, if you had gone right at the beginning, you have the other 3 bosses. The first one is here at the Mossslayer Grove, which is kind of a druidic boss. And I kind of thought about the mechanics a little bit, but I'm not sold on it yet. I think ideally he'll be very druidic. You'll fight him in this ring. And maybe he'll have knockbacks as well, because what I kind of want to do is when he spawns to have a bunch of like fish in the water or something, or maybe he'll shoot lightning at you, and if you're swimming, you take bonus damage. I'm not quite sure yet, but I want there to be some kind of a penalty for being in the water, essentially, so that some of the range casters will have to actually stand up on these ridges here, or be in the ring and fight with him at the same time, something like that. I might come up with a completely different mechanic later, though, so don't hold me to that. um, so over here is the Great Pyre, or whatever you want to call it. So I kind of thought it'd be fun to have like a boss that was meant to burn all the dead bodies, and he'd be like a guy who'd be like throwing dead bodies onto a pyre and burning them. Maybe he's kind of like a destroyer warlock in some kind of a way, channeling fire and flame. Because when I think of like the Zolomon trolls and the forest trolls that live here, one of the things I thought about was like the Phoenix boss and how he like spawned a bunch of random fiery things that would explode or something. I thought that'd be a fun mechanic and kind of like a tribute to ZA a little bit. I'm not entirely sold on that concept yet though either. We can go back and forth on whatever that needs to be. And over here at Lorthic's Rest, I believe is the last part you guys have not seen yet, is a little interior dungeon here. And in here, it's basically just a temple with a bunch of catacombs for their dead. And for the native trolls that are entombed here, I was thinking perhaps a witch doctor, like right here, that you had to fight. And maybe he would reanimate zombies after closing the door to the room. Like reanimate zombies that would kind of come crawling out of here, or like lurching out. And you had to like fight these ads that would come out from the tomb or something. That was one of the ideas I had for that. But again, I'm flexible for like half of these. If any of you guys have any good ideas, feel free to let me know. I'm always taking ideas and player opinions very seriously. A lot of the content that I put into the server is actually very much player driven. So that's pretty much the entire dungeon. Besides like adding trash mobs to the bosses, I'm pretty much done with the actual design and layout of it. And I'm actually kind of happy because the way this kind of came out, it really fits into like 4 ADTs. So it's not as big as I thought it was. But it's big enough to still be an experience. And it may or may not drag on a little too long. So if it's too big of a dungeon, I might allow for mounting inside of here. Or something. I guess that's the whole video, really. It's just me talking about basically this completed dungeon. I'll probably still have to spawn game objects and such, and I still need to spawn all the creatures in it, but this is the finished product. It took me about, I don't know, 17, 18 days to really complete it. It still kind of feels a little empty, but I think it captures what I'm like shooting for perfectly. Not everything needs to be littered like some kind of a clusterfuck. If anything, it's kind of reminiscent of Zul'Farrak, I think, in a way, where it feels like you've moved around a long distance to get to your bosses, but I want to justify having 8 bosses. Some players have already told me, though, they think that this is a little too open space. It feels a lot like a raid. And maybe it should be a little more enclosed. Maybe. I don't know. The way I'm looking at it, maybe it makes more sense to not be too enclosed because of the size of the buildings and the scaling here. I could be wrong, though. Like I said, guys, please get back to me with some comments, criticism, all that type of stuff. Until then, thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. See you guys next time. See you later. See ya. See you later. See ya. See you later. See ya. Bye-bye.